Hello there, everybody. This is King Mac, your friendly hamburger pal. Welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. Be sure to enjoy a hot, fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden French fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Thank you all for watching, and now sit back and relax and enjoy as Tony here brings you our feature presentation of TTBurger game reviews.
I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like.
Hello my friends, how y'all doing today? You are watching TTBurger game reviews here on YouTube, and I am your host Tony. As you're back with more game reviews here, this is episode 246, another multi-power review, and yes, I know after that test drive series review where it was 8 parts, I'm back with another multi-power review, episode 246, part 1 of 3. In fact, this is an episode of TTBurger's shockingly bad game review, and today I want to talk a little bit about South Park. Those of you who grew up in the late 90s and grew up in this generation know about the show South Park. It was that animated show on Comedy Central with cussing and humor and a lot of pop culture references and stuff, starring the four main characters: Eric Cartman, Stan Marsh, Cal Brasowski, Kenny McCormick, and stuff, and more and more. And it was a show that pretty much just popularized the comedy genre, and it's still one of the most funniest shows on the face of the planet. Now, I remember first getting into South Park back when I was 9 years old, only going on 10, when my friend JJ Jaguar 89 told me about the show, and he told me about all the characters and how his house key had a carton keychain on and stuff like that and everything. And he was telling about all the characters and about who was what and stuff, and that's how I kind of got popularized in the South Park. Then when I first started watching South Park, I remember recording the episodes non-stop, like I recorded 10 episodes to have my own little marathon and stuff, and then recorded more and more episodes and stuff, and you know, it was very funny, like, especially because like you have the trash talking kids, and you got the stupid parents and stuff and everything, and then you had Chef, Mr. Garrison, all of them, and it was definitely a popular show for sure. But then South Park went into the video game genre here, where we have 3 games here that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, I know that there's South Park Stick of Truth and South Park The Fractured But Whole, but I want to talk about the ones released in the 5th generation of gaming, which will be in 3 parts here. Part 1, we're going to look at South Park. Then we're going to dive into Chef's Love Shack, South Park Chef's Love Shack for part 2. Then we're going to end things off with South Park Rally in part 3. And I will admit right now, all 3 of these games are terrible. And this will be the first episode where all the games in the same episode are shockingly bad. So this is the first for me, so we're gonna hope that this goes well. And we have a lot to talk about here. For the first part, as you take a look at South Park for the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and PC. First released for Nintendo 64 on December 22nd, 1998. Then released on the PC on March 3rd, 1999. Then finally for the PlayStation on September 30th, the same year, 1999. And we're looking at the PlayStation version, it's the only version I have. Now, I will say this about the first South Park game. It is a poorly made first-person shooter. No matter which version you play, you will be disappointed. The PlayStation version is considered the worst out of each version for many reasons we'll get to later. I first played the Nintendo 64 version, and I will admit it was a mediocre first-person shooter. All I did was shoot, and nothing else. I never played the PC version, so I can't say anything about that, but I will admit that the Nintendo 64 version was better. The PlayStation version was a rush job so bad where it feels like a game that was unfinished. There are levels missing from the other 2 versions, the graphics are awful, the sound is poorly compressed and done, and the gameplay is a nightmare. All the versions of this game are not very good, but the PlayStation is so bad it's not even funny. We will get to that in a little bit. As we had started here after the opening cutscene where it has the theme song, and then it tells us about this comet, a meteor heading to South Park, Colorado, and we pick one of 4 main characters. There's Eric Cartman, Cal Brasowski, Stan Marsh, and Kenny McCormick. I'm picking Stan because he's the leader, and I consider him the main character of the 4 kids and stuff. But it does not matter who you pick because each kid plays the same no matter what, with no change whatsoever. After that, we get into the story where Chef tells the 4 kids a big comet's headed towards South Park and a lot of spook stuff's gonna happen, where mutant turkeys are invading the town along with clones, alien visitors that drop cows on you, TV-like robots and other toys and stuff. The story is good. I like the story, it has a South Park feel to it and it works well for the most part. The only problem is that the lack of South Park characters in the story. What I mean is, aside from the 4 kids, the only character that they communicate with is Chef. Sure, Uncle Jimbo and Ned make an appearance in episode 4 with the stage boss, and Officer Bob already makes a small appearance in the second level of episode 5 with the Killer Toys and such, but most of the story focuses on the kids and Chef and the comments and such. It is a good story, I just wish it was better. The presentation, what a mess. I mean, no, seriously, what a mess. This is one of the worst looking games of all time. Sure, the game was not that good looking on the Nintendo 64 and PC, but the PlayStation version is extremely low res with washed out graphics, ugly character models and backgrounds. There's so much whiteness in this game, it can hurt your eyes. And because it's so white like, you'll feel like you won't even hit a wall or just move forward in the game. Everything looks blurry, especially in the cutscenes. Except the developers said that Nintendo 64 PC cutscenes, they can press them to put it on the PlayStation disc, and ta-da, there you go, and they look very blurry. The in-game graphics have a lot of problems. Like I mentioned, it's all compressed, washed out graphics, and the environments look awful, like a bunch of mishmash of colors. The draw distance is very poor, and you will not see things until it's too late, and you will lose health in the process. The frame rate is absolutely atrocious, where there are a lot of enemies on the screen will drop into single digits. The opening movie looks cool, it's a recreation of the South Park intro and stuff, but it's really cool to see in 3D, but it makes you wish the rest of the game was better. The sound, while better, not by much. The voice acting from the TV show, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, and the other actors do a good job recording their lines, but the lines are repeated over and over and it does not stop where it can be ear rape where you will scream, and there's no option to turn off the voices either. The music is very lazily done. It's like, I mean, I know Acclaim was busy working on Turok 2 Season Evil at this time, but it seems like they just rushed the music and say, ta-da, there we go. Not only that, the PlayStation version has some music tracks that are missing, and there are ones that play in the wrong levels. And also, so the sound of the PlayStation version is muffled and quiet, and poorly edited where you cannot hear anything at all, and you wonder if your game is defected. The gameplay is where everything falls apart. Like I mentioned, this is a first-person shooter, and a bad one at that. You spend time in the game killing mutant turkeys, even clones, cows, aliens, robots, and toys and stuff. You start with a snowball that has unlimited ammo, and you can get other weapons along the way like a dodgeball, toilet plunger launcher, sponge dart gun, Terrence Phillip fart doll, super chicken sniper, a warp ray, a cow launcher, and an alien dancing gizmo and mole. Each weapon has alternate attacks too, but each new level you get a new weapon, the old ones become useless where you'll run out of ammo fast. Some of the weapons have weird names too, but it fits the humor of the show. And the ammo and health power-ups are very scarce, so be sure you save your ammo as much as possible. During the levels, you have tank-like enemies you must defeat, like bigger turkeys that lay eggs and hatch little turkeys, and big clones and motherships that drop cows and more, and you must defeat all the tanks or else they will make it to town, and if they destroy the town, game over for you. The boss fights are frustrating because if you die at all in the game, mainly with the bosses, because they are tough, the sons of bitches, you go all the way back to the beginning of the level. The levels, a lot of them are short, but if you know where to go, you can breeze through them, but some of them are long ones that the bosses start that. What is very frustrating is that the PlayStation version has levels that are missing from the other two versions, and I wonder why they did this. This was on a CD, not a cartridge, doesn't make any sense. Once you beat the story, which should not take long, about an hour or two, you have a multiplayer where you can pick a South Park character, you'll head-to-head, you'll have more characters after you beat a level and stuff, or if you know the password. The multiplayer is weak. My question is, where's the cooperative play? It would have been cool to play as two characters facing the mutant turkey stuff together. And I'm sorry to South Park fans, but me being a fan of the show as well, this was a disaster. Sure, the other two versions were not as bad, but still, this is a game that should have had more work done with it. If you want a good first-person shooter on the PlayStation, go play Medal of Honor, Codename Tank Disruptor, or Quake 2 or so. Just avoid this game. Final thoughts: this game was terrible, and I can't even recommend it to South Park fans either. This game is just really bad. I give South Park a 2.5 out of 10. That's how bad it is. Just go play something else that's more worth it. And that's it for episode 246, part 1 of 3. Stay tuned for the next part. We're going to take a look at South Park Chef's Love Shack, a Mario Party Crash Bash clone. How does this game fare? For the final next. All I gotta say, Tony, peace and out, have a great day. See you all in my review of South Park Chef's Love Shack. Take care, everybody.